Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing Madam Webb. Movie star Dakota Johnson, Tahar, Rahim, and Sweeney.
So this is Sony's latest entry into the Marvel Spider-Verse, and it stars Cassandra Madam Webb as a clairvoyant who gets her powers realised in a freak accident when she's working as a paramedic, and she takes her on a wild ride trying to save 3 girls from certain death from Tahar Rahim's character, and it's quite a fun ride. Let's get into the review, guys. Start with you, Moo.
Alrighty, I'll start things off. This movie was okay-ish for me. There are a few elements that I liked in the movie. So Dakota Johnson, I liked her character. There was a certain amount of arc she was given, and from her childhood. And there's not much about her childhood, but about her mother. And I liked Adam Scott in the movie. He was, even though he was in for a few minutes, and that's about it. The things I liked. Okay, yes. Let's get into the bad stuff. Okay. I'll start with the villain of the movie, played by Tahar Rahim. He looks like Oscar Isaac. Sort of, he's the rip-off version of Oscar Isaac. Sorry, no offense to him. I can't imagine a worse villain played by anyone else, in a long time. His acting was so bad. In every single shot, he is so bad. I'm sorry. No offense to you, man, but whatever he was doing. So many scenes in the movie, his lips are not even moving, and there's a lot of bad ADR, but that's just not it. The character arc for this guy is not there. He's just the bad guy. That's the bad dude. That's it. He got this take on, the movie takes place in 2003, is it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
He got the take of, I don't know, Batman from 2049 or something, I don't know. And this movie I really like time loop stuff, time travel things. This movie, whenever there's a time loop she sees in the future, there's always a big jump scare, and I hated every single point it happened. I really like time stuff, but I was just cringing. This was so bad. I don't know what were they thinking. You have a jump scare every single time, and it gets tedious after second time.
Yeah.
And so the parallels I would take it with, Flash, I would say. So Flash has Speed Force, she has some Web Force, I don't know how she accesses it. The villain, I could sort of say he's the reverse Flash. So he's trying to prevent his future. He sort of sees it, and same as reverse Flash, but there is no character development for him. He's just the bad dude, and sorry, he's bad. Okay. John, do you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are good and bad takeaways from this film. Probably a lot more bad takeaways than good takeaways. The first thing that I think is a good takeaway is the actual story is grounded in some kind of New York aspect. I like New York, so that's a good aspect. Tahar Rahim is a good actor. I've seen him in a lot of good shows. Extrapolations and The Looming Tower. So I know that he has good range. The thing that I found limiting with him was the ADR. A lot of his lines seem not to match what he's saying, and that is a real issue for me, something that throws me off a bit. The other thing that I found a bit of a whole generalization of the film is that over the whole story arc, it feels like the start 10 minutes of a Spider-Man film, before Tobey gets his powers in Spider-Man, and it feels like the end is the Oscorp kind of going there and getting bit by the spider. And the one issue I have is we're 2003, so 2 years after 9/11, she kidnapped people, stole a car, and then damaged property. Okay, not spoiler because it's all in the trailer, so this is not spoilers at all. Not only does she do that, they let her on a plane to Peru. And it's like, but why? It makes no sense. Anyone else would have been arrested at that point. They would have got to the airport. Have they not seen The Next 3 Days with Russell Crowe? I mean, come on, guys. Basic math. You're a wanted fugitive. But, I mean, the actors, Sweeney, and the other two girls who play the teenage girls, because I don't know their names, they were at least believable as teenagers. I think they seemed realistic. I didn't look at them and go, they look too old to be teenagers, or they're too mature to be teenagers. They seemed to fit that role quite well. There was some funny jokes from Dakota Johnson in there, especially the one at the start.
Yeah, there was one.
Me and Moon were laughing at that. So
I don't think, was it meant to be funny?
I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it was. They're probably the main takeaways from the film. Not a great story. It's not a superhero story, I would say. I'd really, really struggle to call it a superhero story in that aspect. Even the outfits, they're only in dream sequence when you actually see them as the spider people, because they never say Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. The spider people are just in dream sequences. Tahar Rahim is the only person who actually has any kind of costume or outfit. So I thought if the film was written in a different way, his character would have come across so much cooler as a kind of future time traveler who has all this technology available to him. And he seems really smart. The character seems really intelligent for the time period. But, I mean, just how it's written just fumbles it straight away. So, yeah, there's not much to talk about. I don't think they'll make another one of these films. I mean, if they do, somebody's going to get fired. So, Cameron, your thoughts?
Look, doesn't happen often, but this movie, pretty speechless. Like, so bad. It was so bad. I don't know. I don't see any purpose why they made this movie. Like, the way it came out, I don't know why they released it. Honestly, it's like you could confine that to a beginning or a middle part of an actual Spider-Man movie to give Madam Web the backstory. But instead they decided to give us a nearly 2 hour long just extrapolation of this meth, is what I'll call it, because it really left me so bored. I didn't like it. I don't know what else to say, really. It is bad. I can't find any redeeming quality from it. Maybe, like, I can agree that the actresses were good.
Yeah.
The villain was terrible. Alas, we got what we got. Sony, don't do it again.
Well, they needed the tax write-off.
So, look, I was in the little minority that actually, I quite enjoyed Morbius. A lot of people did not enjoy Morbius.
It was a funny movie. At least it was fun.
That, at least it gave me, it had some pull, some draw. Like they wanted people to go see it because they were going to make this sort of universe with it. Yeah. So it gave you an extra element to go see it. This one is just, it's standalone, 2 hours. They don't even bother to mention Peter Parker. They just mention Uncle Ben and his mum. And you don't even know if this is the timeline. I think that's what they were trying to allude, that it might not be. But then, I don't know, it's just so, I don't know.
I mean, Adam Scott and Emma Roberts were in it. I mean, big actors for such...
Well, Adam Scott was good as well.
Yeah, Adam Scott was probably one of the best standouts.
Yeah. But he was bad.
Every time he was in the scene, I was just like, I really like this character.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's Uncle Ben, but I don't know.
Can we talk about the action? Chop, chop, chop,
Hold
chop.
on. What? There was action?
Alright, a little bit.
What action?
But there was tiny bit, come on, man. And it was horrible.
Because there wasn't
Placement
any
action.
It was,
Yeah, product placement.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys want a Pepsi?
Yeah,
Actually,
Hold on. How about that Beyonce album?
Oh, yeah. What about Britney Spears? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, you know the dynasty, it's in the trailer. And they're keeping track of time with the Britney Spears song.
Yeah, it's great.
What a brilliant choice. Yeah, let's do that again.
That's a great song.
Yeah, Toxic.
It is.
Toxic, okay,
It's a great song.
okay.
They could have picked a really bad song, and they picked a really good song. So at least they did that little bit right.
A song, a Britney Spears toxic song should be the choice to be in the background, like to keep track of time. When you can just watch or something, I don't know. But it's such a poor choice, because I actually would have liked the scene, the diner scene, like if she comes, like whatever happens. But That song was, it just took me on straight away.
I do find it funny. It reminds me. No, I'm not going to compare it to it, but this, in my head, the first thing that I thought of was that scene from Indiana Jones where the guy's just doing all the cool moves and Indy just pulls the gun out and shoots him. When she hits Rahim with the car, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I could see what they were trying to do, but
Yeah, sorry.
I just don't think it landed. The action was just
Oh,
a bit over the place. Because every time they tried to do something, you just cut, chop, chop.
Yeah,
chop.
there was a lot of chopping.
But to be fair,
I
the
know what you're gonna
characters,
say. I knew you were gonna say that. Yes, yeah, go for
they're
it.
civilians in this stage of the characters.
No.
So to fight a superhuman ain't gonna happen, bruv.
Yeah,
It ain't gonna make any sense. So that's why all she could do is see the future at one stage. All she can do is see that, and then later on, I don't know what happens, to be honest.
You can just,
later on.
she can tell you duck from there. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I think this is another reason why the film is just poorly set in that time before they get the powers. This all could have been a simple backstory.
Yes.
I think Echo showed that very clearly. You can
seen that.
show a bunch of stuff in a condensed period and get the same idea. That film could have been broken down to a 5-10 minute segment at the start of 3 girls get powers or something.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So I don't think it needed a villain who was so super powered.
That's right, yeah.
They could have something else, and they could have used time in some different way instead of fighting a superpowered being. Maybe I wouldn't say Back to the Future stuff because this is entirely different, but something else. Maybe I'll think of something. Maybe I'll write something for these guys next time.
Yeah, it kind of gave me her powers are similar to in Loki season 2 when he can go back in time and then proceed through and keep redoing himself. If you've seen that show,
That show does it much better.
That show does it the right way.
And there are no rules here for the time. Like there are no repercussions. They made it very clear.
Yeah.
But there are just no rules at all for the time.
Man, how many webs are you giving it out of 10?
I'm giving 4 whips.
Yeah. John?
Okay, I'll go along with Moon.
4 webs?
4 webs out of 10.
I'll give it 2 webs out of 10. Alright guys, make sure like, subscribe, share the video, tell your friends, tell your family, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.